What's up, guys? Welcome back to another show with your hosts, Aaron and Chris. And today I want to talk about what I promised I was going to talk about in the last episode, which is the new game InZoi that I've been playing. It's like a direct competitor to Sims. Also, I hope everyone's had a good week. I forgot to say that at the start. But anyway, who cares? On to InZoi.
We care about the week. We're here.
Yeah, we're here now. And I'm terrible at openings, so just you're better. Anyway, InZoi, direct competitor to Sims. I've been playing that a little bit, and I must say...
You showed me a wee bit last time.
I did show you a little bit.
Yep.
It's got a lot of potential. Definitely has a lot of potential. It is...
Early stages. From what I could see from when you were playing it, there was a lot to just...
I mean,
smooth it.
It is early access, which means that it's a game that's not finished, and the developers will constantly kind of develop it as you get to play it. Yeah. Because they need people to play it so they can report stuff back. And
is that what you're meant to be doing? Reporting like, oh, I don't really like this? Or...
They go back and feedback, so reviews and stuff like that, and then people will report stuff as well, right? Yeah. So that, and is a beautiful looking game on Unreal Engine 5. It looks great. Graphics are really realistic, and first game I've ever played where the hair on people
the hair
actually
really
looks realistic really good, and not just like slapped on.
I'll give you that. When I watched you play it the other day, the hair was one of the things that initially, like, I was like, whoa.
Insanely good.
I was like, that's very good. Yeah, like, it just looks really crisp.
It looks like an actual actor's in the game.
It's the Unreal Engine. I think it's the Unreal Engine. That
must be.
Because even the buzz cut,
aye,
instead of just looking like a shape on someone's head, like a drawing of black or whatever, it looked...
I was individual
like the
hairs.
dots,
yeah, literally.
like as in it's
absolutely,
like, yeah. Which
and
really
as honestly, it looks like an actor is in the game, like a model, like a human, like they've done it AI-ly. Because even the actual faces and all that,
they're very good. It
looks scarily realistic, right?
Yeah, it's very good.
Then after you've done that, you move into a wee house in that.
Even the apartment in that we were in,
apartment looks great.
Looked fairly realistic, but again, a lot of Unreal Engine 5, a lot of that's up to that.
Of course, right.
And sort of the high graphic level. But I think for me, watching you, the gameplay could be smoothed out for me.
Yeah.
Just even with just like when we were doing the car, trying to get in the car and all that sort of stuff. Like, so obviously that will be smoothed out, but I'm just, that's where what
even the graphics of the textures of the car, they weren't really all that clear.
Yeah, they're not there yet. The person's really good, but I think there's other stuff like around you.
They focused on the main things, which is the person and like the apartment and the house where you are and all that kind of stuff. Obviously the outdoors, the town.
Totally.
So it is really, really cool. It looks great. Not a lot of gameplay options just now, like as in like story or gameplay type of thing.
Yeah, obviously, but
they'll add that in and all that.
Currently,
it is similar, but also slightly different. You've got your normal needs and stuff like that, aspirations, what you want to do, and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Moods, all that. It's all in there. But
it's just a stronger Sims.
It is. The coolest thing about it that I think so far is that you can actually control the Sim. Or the Zoi, they call it Zois. Yeah. You can control him as in actually walk him about.
Yeah, I like that better than the clicking.
Yeah, instead of clicking on the Sim.
I don't like
I get to actually walk about, with the keyboard, or if you put a controller into it, you can do it that way.
I like that better than the clicking, personally. Because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Test Drive.
Yeah.
Unlimited 2, when I had that game. Fantastic.
Absolutely great game.
But like when you used to have your house and you could edit it all, obviously there wasn't the level of editing that you can do in Sims.
Yeah.
But it was quite a lot.
Yeah.
And like it was more interior editing. You didn't get a lot of exterior editing in that game.
Yeah.
But you could obviously buy different houses.
Yeah.
But like the walking about of the house, I really liked. So like I could walk about and walk in my pool and go and do all that shit. Like I like that.
It's a wee bit like if GTA and Sims had a baby. That's what it kind of comes to me as just now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. You okay there?
Yeah. I just noticed a wee mark on my t-shirt and I didn't like it.
All right. Yeah, as it goes on and develops, I'm excited to see what happens after that. But yeah, so far it's been brilliant.
It looks good.
Yeah. I have also, you reminded me actually to mention this, I have also completed 2 stories of Dredge. Yes. So the main story, obviously, I done that ages ago. The oil rig story was a pretty brisk one, to be honest.
So what's it? So I looked at mine. I've got Dredge with 1 pack initially.
You'll have the key pack with a key, the something stone key. It's for the collector, so you need to deliver the key to him, which you find somewhere on the map. Right. So that's just the one thing.
And then the other two, there's the ice one and the oil rig.
Yeah, so that's what I have.
Ones I don't have.
So I bought them because I finished the main game and I was obsessed with it.
They're not expensive, but
they're not. So I bought the oil rig one. It's a lot of backward and forward, chasing about and stuff like that. Searching and bringing stuff back and that kind of shit. But it's pretty good. It's rewarding. It allows you to upgrade your boat to tier 5 as well. And some other stuff that adds to the game that you can put on your boat as well, right? And about 100 more species of fish as well. So pretty cool. Just what we need, right?
So you're working through finishing that currently?
So oil rig's done.
Oil rig's done. You've done the key one.
Main base, key, and oil rig's done. So I've just got the frozen, icy one to do, right? That one I've already kind of started. The first thing is you need to find parts of an icebreaker that you put on the front of your boat. Imagine like
a big sledge.
Yeah, like a big thing. Imagine like trains. They used to have these things to get debris out of the way. That's kind of what it is. It allows you to drive or float your boat through ice, essentially. Yeah. And allows you to get into places to retrieve things and all that kind of stuff and catch different fish and all the rest of it, right? So I'd like to say I'm kind of maybe...
You're on the way through.
Almost halfway through that one, right? And then obviously I'm yet to catch all the fish and all the species of fish that is to be caught, which is shitloads. There's about 200 odd fish in total to be found. And I think I've found maybe half of that or just over half, so still a little bit to go.
It gives me a small Animal Crossing vibe with the collectability of like the fish. Mm-hmm. So like I used to play Animal Crossing, my daughter's got it, she plays it. Mm-hmm. But like, so like there's like 300 species of fish, 300 insect species or whatever. But like, this is like, because it's real time Animal Crossing. Yeah. They can come out at night, they can come out at day, they can come out at dawn, they can come out in the winter only, they can come out only in spring, they can come out, like, so much fucking about. And it takes genuinely years to do it, because there's no way you'll catch every single one first try.
Whereas one day in Dredge is like 20 minutes.
Yeah. But maybe so less. But like the collectability sort of factor of like opening your wee encyclopedia, I've got these. Yeah. That's like Animal Crossing. Right, okay. And I really like that about Animal. I like sometimes like games like that for a more relaxed feel. Yeah. Like that's what Animal Crossing's like. Because you get a museum in it. Mm-hmm. So the way it works is obviously you can sell the fish, but you get a museum. And this is what I like. This is one of the factors of that game that I loved, right? You're on the island. As you play, you're maybe getting a new fish, this and that. Each one you can give one of each species to the museum guy. Right. And he puts it in the museum. Right, okay. So fish wise, you go into the aquarium part of the museum and you see like all the different wee fish that you've caught just swimming about, squids, sharks.
Do you know what game has?
I like that.
Do you know what game has that system as well? Phasmophobia. See, when you've caught
that's right,
all the bones, for example, all the like collectibles such as bones.
It's got in the glass,
cursed objects, like all that kind of stuff. When you're in the lobby, it has all that display.
I just like that, like, and then the insect one's nice, like a wee forest, and it's got all the insect. But like some of them are really hard to catch, like scorpions and that, really difficult, because if scorpion stings you, you pass out, and you can't get it again. So like you've got to try and find it again, nightmare, right? Yeah. And like then the last thing is there's art downstairs, so you have to find art from travellers and all that, and you buy the art off them, like special paintings for different places. And then the upstairs one is, because there's like 4 sections of the thing, and the upstairs one is fossils. Okay. So you go in and you might find like a T-Rex head, but then you still need all the rest. So then you might find like a T-Rex body and then a T-Rex, and they start putting it together. So then you can walk through. It's like the museum. It's class. That's like class. It's awesome. I actually like that part of the game, and because she's got the Switch, I can play the big screen. And I'm like running about and that.
Do you know what? I've never actually played Animal Crossing.
Mate, it's a very like, you can do what you like. It's not objective based in the sense of like, even like Dredge has got floating objectives. It's not like that. Okay. It's very live your life, do what you want to do. But there's collectibles there if you want to do that. Yeah. So like you can make your house bigger. You can take a wee mortgage on your house.
Can you?
And it's like $100,000, say.
Right.
And then obviously you can go about and find fish and catch fish that you've already got, and then you can sell them and you can build up, and then you pay the wee $100,000 mortgage off, then your house gets a wee extension so you can then put stuff in. But there's that many objects and collectibles. You can really make it look however you like inside. Like, you can have a wee hammock, you can have whatever, you can have all these different things. You can put fossils in your house, mate. You can have a big T-Rex on the bottom floor. Like, I like that. And then obviously each time your mortgage gets bigger, you keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger. Then eventually you've got like a pure big massive living room, 3 rooms in the back, you got upstairs, you got all these different stuff. It's quite cool, but then you can plant plants outside, make a wee garden.
Right, okay, this also has a little bit like Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
I think you've ever played
a little
that.
bit, yes.
But it gives me that vibe as well. But you know what, Dredge is amazing because it's like, it's such a chilled out, laid back game. Like, you can just kind of do, you don't have to even follow the story because no matter what you do...
Well, I wasn't when I was playing it.
I know. Well,
I didn't follow any. I just sailed the boat.
Aye, well, the thing is, you can do that, but you will still end up completing the game somehow because you will end up stumbling up to things. Like,
well, that's what happened to me. I stumbled on one of the guys in the mansion or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like...
So that's the collector. So he's the one to whom you bring all the stuff.
I didn't even mean to stumble on him.
Yeah.
I just happened to stumble on him.
Because
I was kicking a boot.
sometimes as you arrive to an island and you go on the island, it won't even give you a chance to like do anything. It'll just pop up with a person and be like, yo, what's up? What are you up to on this island?
That's what happened to me.
You know? But it's a great game. I've actually not played it in a little while. I've kind of took a break from it, much like GTA San Andreas, which I've still not touched.
Ghost of Tsushima.
That has also not been touched. It's been a lot of COD Zombies because the new maps came out.
I know.
So we've been a little bit preoccupied. I prestiged.
Twice you prestiged.
I prestiged twice in the space of like
a week.
Not even a couple of days or something.
Because there's been double points.
There's been double points weekend for the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
So
it's just run out.
Has it?
I think so. It's today. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll see later on. But yeah, so I've managed.
We've been trying to do the boss.
Right. Yeah.
Me and Chris and our friend Jordan, we've done. So there's a new map.
Yeah.
It's the big mansion.
Yeah.
It's got big gardens really and things. Cool. I really like it.
It's the first map that's came out that I actually liked off the bat.
I like it as well. So
the one thing I don't like, but I feel like maybe they should calm down with, is those toxic zombies. They're hardcore. They're skeletons. They're solid.
I've got better than them. I was terrible.
I figured them out a little bit,
and I've sussed it. Like I don't get done with them now.
They're so annoying.
So last night, I'll give you as an insight. Chris, myself, and Jordan, like we didn't watch any videos. We never knew what the boss was. We never knew how to get to the boss. We like to figure it out ourselves, as I've said before.
Me and Jordan called it though. We knew what it was going to be.
Did you guess the T-Rex?
As soon as when we played that one game before you came on.
To be fair, he does look a wee bit out of place, the T-Rex. Now that I think about it.
As soon as me and him walked into the room, we were like, right, that has got to be doing something.
To be fair,
it does look a bit out of place. Some shit.
So basically, we played last night. We kind of sussed how to get to the boss. So there's obviously multiple steps. We've got there. And then, I mean, I was quite kitted out by that point in terms of perks and all that sort of stuff. I was like pack 3'd, etc. You were pack 2. Jordan was pack 2 on 2 guns.
They're pretty solid stuff.
I would say a pretty solid level.
Yeah.
Not the best. A couple of things we could have done extra, but you were going into it blind and you didn't really know what it was going to be. So obviously then it's spoiler alert, it's a big T-Rex.
We've already spoiled that, but okay.
I know, but like so you get thrown in, it's a big T-Rex, right? The big cutscene and all that shit.
Yeah.
And obviously you're kind of running around this sort of like wee area. Chris died 19 fucking times or something. I actually didn't.
You got down a few things, but
twice.
Nowhere near us.
Twice, and the second one, no one fucking revived me, so that was me.
Well, because if I got anywhere near you, I would have went down as well.
Yeah, that's fair. I was hoping Jordan was going to get me, but he didn't. So we've kind of learned his health's his health is the same amount of health it looks like with every other boss, except it moves down considerably slower.
Oh, it's like watching paint dry.
It is,
and I know because I watch paint dry sometimes.
Really hard going. So we've kind of sussed it. I think we're going to play it after we film this.
We need to equip ourselves with choppers.
That's the thing. So we need chopper gunners.
Yep.
I'm going to take a self-revive.
Yeah.
Is the only 2 other things I'm going to take. Plus,
We need war machines.
I'm not going to...
But then hold on, we can only have one.
You can't have a war machine. You'll need to take a chopper, right?
Yeah.
The other thing I want to take is probably a ray gun Mark II or like a Wunderwaffe or something.
Yeah. See, when I watched...
Because I only had one gun.
When I watched Jordan chopper gun the dinosaur...
I went down.
Did you see the health?
Yeah, but that was like... Remember the Terminus boss was the same?
Yeah, but mate, the health was going considerably fast down. You could actually see the white, like...
Yeah, as it was catching itself, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit,
so
that chopper's doing work.
If we can do the first quarter just with us running about...
Mate, if we can have... All three of us have a chopper, right? And just... Each of us go with a chopper. Well, that's what I'm saying.
So if we do the first quarter...
We'll take it down significantly.
If we do the first quarter, let it do the jump up stage, because he jumps up in the rocks, comes back down, one of us use a chopper, take as much as you can down, then he might just need a wee bit extra, which we can do.
Yeah.
And just keep doing that, because I think there'll be 4 stages, because he's got 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
That personally. And I think we just do 1 chopper a stage, because it just gets him down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got gobblegums, you've got gobblegums, all that sort of shit. So it should be okay.
Now that we know what to expect, we can prepare the loadouts.
Well, I'm now going to bring my good gobblegum loadout and things like that, which I didn't have last time.
Yeah.
And my shotgun is good. And to be fair, I had plenty of ammo because I had Vulture Aid and all that. So it was okay. But I think it'd be worth having both guns. Just for the like, oh, I need to reload, just swap gun sort of thing. Like sometimes it's easier. You need to make sure you got armor.
Yeah.
You always run away for the armor. Get armor. I save. I don't even buy jug.
See, when I play, like, not with yous, but like I play with other people or like online with randoms or whatever, I'm honestly like carrying the team. But somehow when I play with yous, I'm just like, Jordan's there.
Better players, eh?
I'll be fine.
Better players than those other clowns.
That's not what I meant.
Better players than those other clowns you're playing with. I only went down 3 times that game last night in the whole game.
I think I was tired. That's what it was.
All right.
Yeah.
For 3 times? Mate, I actually got so many revives. And it was all you.
I was falling asleep.
I just kept reviving them. Like, perfect. I was like, this guy's racking my revives up left and right. But no, I think a good gobblegum loadouts, chopper gunners, self-revives, legendary-based weapons, we all need to be pack 3'd and we all need to have a decent amount of pairs. If we can go in like that, we'll be alright.
I was an absolute clown, and I was using all the good gobblegums to see what they're doing.
I know, I told you
like
not to do that.
Pointless games.
I've saved hundreds. Like I've got,
well, at least someone does, so that's
unbelievable. I've got way more. That's what Jordan said. He was like, "Yeah, you've got hundreds compared to me."
Yeah,
but that's because I don't use gobblegums ever.
Right. Okay.
Except a boss fight.
Yeah.
Like I won't use them until I know exactly what the boss is, and then we go in like now where we've already lost to the boss, and then we're going in again.
Yeah.
Then I'll bring the gobblegum load that's really good, and then I've got 5 minters, and I'm like, no problem. And I've actually got spare of the minters in case I need a backup. So like I'll use my perkaholic, get all the perks, then I'll go and use the gobblegum machine, get another perkaholic, and be like, this. Come on then.
Do whatever.
Aye. Like, because then even if I go down in the boss fight, I come back up, pop another one, and just take it again, and I'm like, it's easy, mate.
Literally.
Because you've got every perk again, like, he didn't go down. So that's my plan. But, another game.
Go
on different scales. So, Platinum Journey, haven't talked about this in a wee while. I'm sitting quite weirdly, like, I've got loads of games, but I've just not finished them. Jack and Daxter, I'm like a percentage through. High on Life, percentage through, just not finished. I didn't want to get this way because I kept playing wee bits of games and then I get stuck because I need someone like a co-op partner that's nippy. Burnout Paradise, really want to finish that, but I need someone else to buy it.
Nippy. Is it cross-platform?
I don't think so because it's a remaster. I don't think so.
Oh, okay,
check, if so, that'd be ideal because I told Jordan about it's £1.99.
What's he doing?
I know. I'd actually pay for it just to let me get the plat.
Yeah.
Then I've got Ghost of Tsushima, but I am going to platinum that game, but I will not rush that game. I love it. I am enjoying it. I am just playing through it so slowly but surely.
It is not cross-platform.
Pain. Jordan will have to play.
Yep.
Also Space Marine, but it's a slog. Like 41,000 enemies is a slog.
That's a disaster, mate. Jordan's
not even done it. He's played over 100 hours on it. So it's a slog, right? So I'm just working away. I'm I'm chipping away at that one. That's a long timer, taking ages.
Mate, say when you said the hours there, remember when I said to you, Justin, our friend Justin?
Yeah, I know, that's so long.
Honestly, he's done over 2,000 hours.
See, the thing is, bro, Space Marine, you couldn't play that many hours on it. It's not got enough to play that much. Like you're just replaying shit, but then
well, Counter-Strike 2, which is what he's acquired all that amount of hours on, is basically like never ending because it's just match after match of shooting.
It's like COD,
pretty much.
But then I was playing Assassin's Creed Shadows.
You've already gave us your review of it.
I'm still struggling with it a bit.
So
what I did was I manoeuvred to I thought, okay, struggling slightly. Couldn't get that deep into it. I'm not even the story. I'm not engaging well with it. Mm-hmm. I like the theme, the Japan theme. I like it. I thought, do you know what? Now's as good a time as any to start my Assassin's Creed slog where I'm going to play through them all. Mm-hmm. So I started Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
All right, yeah. Oh, you were loving that.
Ancient Greece.
This guy was on Discord with me, right? On Discord.
It's brilliant.
And honestly, it's like he was watching, like, I don't know.
Brilliant.
It's like you were honestly creaming over it.
Oh, and I was so good.
You were going to that extent. That was making me like, shit, should I just buy this as well?
It's so good.
Because you were talking to me about it, and I'm like...
I'm on the boat and all that.
Is it like Dredge on steroids?
And they're all singing and all that, and I'm like, yeah, like, Ken, like... And then we're mashing, like, other boats on the motor, and I'm like this. Like, and they're all singing the songs, like, da, 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 on the boat and that. And I'm like...
You were singing that shit through the headset to me, and I'm like, what is he doing?
Mate, it was the best thing ever, right? It's like Assassin's Creed Black Flag as well, right? That's the pirate one. Yeah. Same thing. You just rule the seas, right? And anything with seas in it, for me, is class, right? I love when you're in a boat like that and you can pure mash other boats to bits and that. Because, like, in this one, obviously, they don't have cannons because it's, like... Older. I think it's 480 BC or something, so the cannons weren't invented.
So they've got a boat at all?
It's like an ancient Greek boat with a big hard front and the big sail. And they've all got the rows, like, whoa, right? And, but they all, like... So your weapons are javelins, if you're close range, or bow and arrows. Right, but I've just unlocked the fire pits in the middle, so all the guys run to the fire pit and light their arrows on fire, and they go, "Whoa!"
What year is Ghost of Tsushima based on?
About 1570 or something.
All right, okay.
So it's a lot like AD. Later, so like you're talking like over 1,000 years later. 500
years ago, roughly.
Aye.
Yeah.
So much later. I think it actually, it's about that. So, Odyssey, I'm loving. Mm-hmm. And you're obviously like a Greek warrior guy, like, so that's cool as well. Like,
is that the previous one? Sorry.
Odyssey's the first. So here's where it gets difficult.
Right.
The way Assassin's Creed works is you are a guy and you go into a machine. Mm-hmm. Like your guy in present day, you go into a machine called the Animus. And it takes you back in time to your ancestors. It uses your DNA to take you back in time to your ancestors.
Right.
And that's the game you play through, the Ancestor.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So, in terms of the modern day part story, because there's always wee missions with the modern day wee bits and pieces, it's not the first one in the story. Okay?
Right.
But I'm playing it. And I'm not playing them all either because there's about 15 of them. I'm going to play about, I think it's 9 of them. The 9 main ones that I would enjoy, and I'll tell you in a minute. I'm playing it in terms of ancient history order.
All right, okay.
So like Odyssey is the oldest possible one.
Mm-hmm. Like set in the oldest
time. Set in the oldest time.
Yeah.
So like, I'm talking, it would be 2,500 years ago. So I wanted to play that one first because... in terms of assassins, like lineage-wise, like in time-based, that's the oldest. So the guy doesn't even have the wee knife that comes with anything. Like, it's no like that. Right. He's got a sword.
Right.
Or a spear. Mm-hmm. And then he's got a broken spear that's the spear of Leonidas, who's like the king of the Spartans or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's like the sharp edge of the spear and then a wee bit of the wood. And that's one of your weapons as well. So if you're fighting with a sword, he pulls the other spear head out, so you fight like with 2 bits.
Yep.
So like obviously choose your weapons, choose your armor and all that, and it's quite cool because it's like an ancient Greece, so they talk Greek and all that sometimes and all that sort of shit. And but because you can now, because it's got the boat, you can sail to all the islands of Greece, but they're all called different shit because they weren't like that. So it's like Athens and all that, and it's like it's cool, it's interesting. But back then it was all very, they believe in the gods.
Yeah. Like, the ancient Greek
so
gods.
So people are praying to the gods, and in the like, there's like the temple of Apollo for like, and they pray for the sun to come up and all that, right? And there's people doing it in the game. Like that's the good thing about Assassin's Creed. Like this is because Odyssey was made much more recently. Right. So I think Odyssey was only made in the last 5 or 6 years, 7 years or something.
Was it not like
late
2010s? So like 2016, 17 or something like that?
I think it was maybe like 2018, 2017 maybe.
Wait, I'm curious. Like Assassin's, was it?
Odyssey is.
Creed... Odyssey. It was
2017, 2018?
2018.
So this is the thing. So the first Assassin's Creed came out in like
early
2009?
2009, yeah, something like that, yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. So as in gameplay wise, it updated considerably in terms of fighting and all that sort of stuff and running about, the parkour, all that sort of shit, right? So in that, and the graphics.
I played the first one. Like,
well,
I didn't play it, but like I had walked about.
The Templars and all that.
I remember running about the rooftops with all the pigeons and that.
Yeah, I like that one actually, to be fair. But you can't really get it now. That's the only problem.
Right.
But and Jonah, if you played it now compared to the new ones, I think you actually wouldn't like the gameplay. It would actually be too old, where you're like, this is shite. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? You could still play Assassin's Creed 2 onwards. They're pretty good. Right. Because they changed so much between 1 and 2. And then it kind of progress from there. But like the game's really good in the sense of like you can sail about all the islands and it's all, but like the stuff happening externally, like guards could be in an alleyway battering a guy and all that, and just shit like that. Like
dynamic.
There's just very dynamic. There's shit going on all over the place. Chickens fucking floating about and goats running about and all that, and it's just mental, right? So like that obviously would require a lot of power, like in terms of the engine and all that. To get everyone to do things
rendering
all the time
that shit
at random is hard.
Yeah.
And I know that's hard because it's not easy to get a game to do that. And because it's a complete random and you can run about at random, that's good as well. But you get like a bow and arrow and all that.
I like when you get chickens in the game.
I've killed loads of them.
Counter-Strike's got chickens in some maps.
I've killed loads of them.
Yeah.
I just kill all the animals and all that. I'm no board mark.
Right.
I kill everyone. I kill civilians.
See, when I'm playing GTA and there's like, you see the wilderness animals in that, I'm just like, nah, I'm not killing that.
I kill everyone.
I feel shan.
I kill people.
People's fine.
People, animals.
Well, I prefer animals to people, so it's like...
What's other cool is that you can run through the forest and sometimes you can get like a pack of wolves.
Right.
You'll hear the howl and you'll see one and then you see 10. And you're like, shit. Yeah. Right? And then they're all fucking trying to jump at you and you're fucking fighting them off. The
only game I enjoy killing animals in, and it's not even me doing
Red Dead Redemption.
I've never even done that. But it is Manor Lords when the villagers... You can put the villagers in charge of like this hut and where they gather their meat. They go out hunting for animals. Yeah. So they'll go and you can actually follow them and look at them.
Watch them do it. Yeah.
Bow and arrow popping into a deer or like a cow, wild cow.
So if you kill animals in this, you get leather and that. So you can.
So that's what happens there as well. So they bring it back and it goes into two things. Tanning that, and it goes into the food. This can as well.
Aye. So like Odyssey, I'm super enjoying.
Yeah.
It's less assassin-y. More like just because it's so far back, like the assassins don't even exist yet. Because the assassins and Templars are enemies. They don't exist. It's that far back.
Right, okay.
Like they don't exist. But there's a couple of DLCs for it, and I'm lucky I got them with a game. Because when you buy them on PlayStation and the game's a bit older, they tend to just throw the DLCs in.
Yeah.
So one of them is Elysium. Or I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically you go to Elysium, like you go to like basically like Olympus.
Right.
So like where the gods live.
Yeah.
So it's like another area, and I don't know how you get there yet. I'm going to try and just finish the main story before I do it.
Right.
But there's one of that. There's one for Atlantis, and then there's one for Hell, which is like the underworld. Right. And I thought that's quite cool because what I like about this one is that it's not far fetched, but they have tied a wee bit of the myths in. Right. So like there's a couple of achievements there I've looked. I've not seen anything to do with them yet. But it says like fight the Minotaur.
What's that?
Minotaur's like a half man, half bull. Like it's got a big bull head.
Oh, I know the one. Yep.
Right, and I'm like that's a myth. So I'm like, okay, like where is that?
Yeah.
Fight Medusa's one of them.
I know what that is. Yeah.
And then fight a Cyclops.
Right.
And then one of them's outwit the Sphinx. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they're all mythical creatures. So I'm like, oh, cool. Right, okay, so they're somewhere then.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that you're going to have to beat them. Mm-hmm. And that's quite... I like... With Greek stuff, I'm really into Greek myth. So I like all that sort of stuff. And I like that they're talking about... But there's so many side missions. You can just pick stuff up. You go into towns and all that.
You just roam about.
I've got a bounty at the moment. So you get... This is the thing. So there obviously wasn't, like, even proper really guards back then.
Right.
It was like... So, like, it's not like now where you get caught by the police, they're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
If you're killing people and stuff, even not civilians, even in general, you start to get a bit of notoriety, right, as like a mercenary.
Yeah, you get that in GTA as well.
Yeah.
The more people you kill, the more your sort of like mental thing goes on, and
so the thing is,
a bigger target.
With this, mercenaries will look for you.
Right.
Because you have a bounty. Right? So, like, there's a bar that sits, and it's not that they'll come after you straight away, it's just there's a bar with 5 Spartan helmets on it. So that's the level of notoriety you've got. So mine's sitting at 3.5 at the moment, right? But it just constantly sits at that. It doesn't mean you go into towns and everyone doesn't like you or that, nothing.
Yeah.
It just means that on the odd occasion, completely at random, you will, like you can be mid-mission, and randomly a tough mercenary will, like you can see him on the map sometimes, and he's running, he's obviously like spoke to villagers and that, and he's been like, he's that way, right? And he's found you on his horse, and he's like, here he is. And they're always pretty tough. Like, they're hard to fight. But if you're like, raiding a fucking camp and you're killing folk and all that, and then randomly the mercenary rolls in, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, now I've got to fight this guy and him.
Yep.
Like, and then it can get tough because there's obviously you're getting outnumbered a bit. Aye. So, but like, the more you kill, your notoriety goes up, but your level of mercenary goes up. So you're getting more and more famous. Like, Christ, this guy's killed someone the brave or whatever, and this and that. So like, I've killed about 9 mercenaries now that have all just at random came out. One of them even came at me on a boat, his own boat. So I'm in the middle of the sea, and I was just like, what the fuck is that boat? Right? And there was the mercenary coming, and he's got his crew, and he's like, fucking trying to ram my boat, right? And I'm like, this son of a bitch, right? So I've got the pots now on my boat. All the guys light their fire arrows on me, shot at the sail. Boys, boat's on fire and that. This guy's still trying to ram my boat to jump onto my boat.
I think I heard this because you were exclaiming loudly over the headset.
I'm like,
being like, fuck you, bang.
Aye, so this guy's got his boat next side by side with me, and he's fucking jumped onto my boat. So I've then had to fight him on my boat, right? And then all his crew are getting burnt alive and that.
Just
and
threw him over the boat.
Well, I did the big, so you've got to move, it's a Spartan kick.
Right.
It's like 300 the film, right? So basically, like, this is a move I use as constant. It's basically you're standing there and you just go fuck oh, and the boy just flies like off his feet. So I just booted him into the sea.
Right, okay.
And then ran over him on my boat.
Perfect. Ran over him.
Aye, because his head was out the water and it just went bang, smash, and he killed him.
Right, okay. Perfect.
So, but the kick, I use to move all the time.
Right,
off cliffs, everyone. Like
kick move.
Aye, mate. Literally. I'm up on like cliffs fighting guys, and then I'm like, fuck it, bang! Right, guys off the cliff, dead. I'm like, that's half it. But honestly, it's good. Very good game. So Odyssey is the one I'm playing at the moment.
Right.
Really enjoying it. I've actually played 18 hours on it.
Okay.
In this week.
That's decent graft.
Literally,
that was like new with Dredge.
I'm very much enjoying it. I
haven't even done them when I was on Dredge, but
I just like Greek. I like Greek stuff. It's cool.
Right.
You can choose a guy or a girl as a character as well.
Right.
Their brother and sister, and basically like one of you has died, and the other one's been thrown off, but you've got lost to sea, and then you land on the island. That's how you've grown up. So you choose one or the other. It doesn't matter. I think the girl's like the main character. Like if you choose her, you get a wee bit more story or something. Not sure. Someone said that, but I've never found any problems with using the guy. Then obviously there's an order. So like there's Origins is the next one, and that becomes a wee bit more assassiny. That's in Egypt, ancient Egypt. It's like 50 BC.
Okay.
So like, that's like pyramids. You get a camel. Like, you get sort of, there's DLCs with that as well for like the ancient pharaoh, and there's pharaoh DLCs and all that sort of shit. So it's quite smart. Like there's an underground. I used to say there was loads of pyramids underground.
Yeah.
So like there's one of them ones when you go underground and all the pyramids are there. It's quite smart. So like that's supposed to be really good. Origins. I've heard it's very, very good. No, I don't think you got a boat in Origins.
Right, okay.
Because obviously in Egypt, you didn't get that, right? But it's supposed to be very, very good as well. So I'm going to play that. That's the next one. Then it's Valhalla, which is the biggest one they've done.
Yeah, I heard of that one.
The Platinum, I've heard, is between 150 and 200 hours.
Decent graft.
But that's like between Norway and England, actually.
All right.
I think. And basically you're a Viking.
So boats again.
Awesome. You get. I think you do get a boat in this one. So I'm quite buzzing for that.
Vikings were on boats.
Yeah,
right?
you get a boat. It's a big long boat.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be really good. Jordan's played a bit of that, and he said it was like very good. But you also get Norse mythology in it. Right. So like Thor and all that.
Oh yeah.
So I think you can get secret weapons like Thor's hammer and all that sort of thing.
Right.
Same as the Egypt one. There's obviously Cleopatra and all this sort of shit.
It's like themed stuff.
Which I like that stuff because they're like quite big moments in history where you're like, it's quite exciting. I think the next one is Assassin's Creed 2. But I've got the remastered trilogy for Assassin's Creed 2. So it's
you're going chronologically in terms of
ancient,
when it's set?
Yes.
Right.
So Assassin's Creed 2 is Italy.
Okay.
So it's Venice and all that. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't a boat in that. You could get the wee boat that would go through Venice, but it wasn't like a big ship.
Oh, what the fuck are they called again? I have the name on the tip of my tongue.
So you get Florence, Venice, and Tuscany, I think.
What is the name of those boats?
Can't remember.
That's going to annoy me. Gondolas.
Gondolas, So you get that, and then that. So it's Ezio's ones. Ezio's, he's quite a main assassin's character. He had a lot of story behind him. So you get him and Leonardo da Vinci and all that's in it.
Really?
Aye, so he invents a lot of your shit because he was an inventor.
Yeah.
So he invents like the first flying machine. It's like a thing that you hang on to. It's like a hand glider and the wings flap and all that sort of shit. And he invents the wee blade and all that. Like he's shit hot.
Right.
Invents you a gun in your arm and all this. So see when he starts inventing some shit for you, mate, then you start kicking ass because you're like, he gives you that much cool shit. You're like, I'm gonna I'm gonna kill everyone now, like double blades and everything. You're fucking
Spider-Man and shit,
mate. That was badass because you could hire like prostitutes, for example. So like you had like a wee set of prostitutes. You used to hire them, but like you would sort of walk in the middle of them, so you could walk through places and people wouldn't notice you,
right?
Because like their eyes were on them, obviously, and no you. So you just glide through like where if it was quite heavily guarded and things like that, and you could hire mercenaries, you could hire thieves and all that, like to steal shit off people and cause distractions.
I've never played any Assassin's Creed game. I might actually have a look into some.
Mate, they're all slightly different gameplay wise because you're different times. Mm-hmm. So like I found the one in Italy, Ezio's one. So that's Assassin's Creed 2, then Brotherhood, then Revelations. Brotherhood was great because it was like in Brotherhood the story had evolved a wee bit and you could make a wee. You had a wee squad of assassins, so you were training them. Right. You could send them away on missions like that. But you could also, like, say you're up on a building and you're like, right, target's there. There's like fucking 15 guards around them and all the different bits of the thing. You could highlight some of the guards and then go, you did like a wee whistle, like, and then your assassins would fucking drop in and like kill this guard down, this guy's down, this guy's down, this guy's down. And you're like, right, we've now only got 3 guards.
So you can basically recruit gang members effectively, like
to a degree, but you're training them so they get better, they level up and get better.
Right, okay.
So like you're like as you're leveling them up, so the more missions they do, the more stuff they do for you, they're getting better and better, their equipment gets better, so they become like you. They become as good as you, like where you've got shit everywhere, guns and everything. So then they're like, because I think you got a crossbow at one point and everything like off your back and it's badass, right?
Right.
So then like it gets to the point where like, see if you've worked through the game a wee bit and you've got maybe like, say level 10's the highest, you've got maybe 4 level 10 as that, mate. Shit starts getting quite easy because they smoke bomb everything. So like no one can see. The guards are like, what the fuck? And then it's like you just see them just dropping like left and right, and because these guys are just fucking running in like ninjas, wiping them out.
Right.
And then you're like, then it's just the guy you're assassinating. He's like, where is everyone? Yeah. And then all you see is you've dropped down. Bang, dead.
Everyone's dead.
And then you're gone before the smoke even disperses.
Right.
So then the other guards are running like, what the fuck? Happened? There's fucking 9 guys dead here and there's not a single person in sight. It's class. Right, that shit's cool. You got a lot of that in Ezio's one, like Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood and Revelations. But that's like his life. So Revelations is a bit older. He's like a master assassin at that point and all this sort of stuff.
Right.
So then the following that is Shadows, which is the Japanese one.
But
I'm hoping by that point I'm quite deep into them again. Into the stories, and it'll help me go through Shadows. I'm hoping so.
Right, okay.
And then following that, the only ones I've got after that are Black Flag, which I'm gutted is at the end, because it's one of the fucking best ones. You're a pirate.
Well, you're saving the best for last, right?
Pirate in the Caribbean.
Right.
You could not...
Caribbean or Caribbean?
Caribbean, I think.
A lot of people say Caribbean.
I don't think it's Caribbean.
I heard that before, though.
So have I.
Maybe it's an American UK
I think
thing.
it's an American
right.
thing. But, mate, when I say this is the best one, you ask any person that's played Assassin's Creed, they'll tell you Black Flag's the best one.
Right, okay.
Mate.
Is that, to be fair, it actually sounds piratey from Black Flag.
Literally, your guy eventually you become like a sea captain. You've got like 4 pistols, like the big flint-top pistols.
Yeah. Gunpowder
2 swords, the lot, mate. You can actually do a move in it, I'm sure, where you literally put, like, if there's 4 enemies, you can literally bang, and you grab another one, bang, and it's like 4 guys dropped, no problem. You can upgrade all the cannons on your ship. So originally you've got maybe like 3 aside, single line.
Yeah.
Your boat can get upgraded. Eventually you've got like triple lined 6 cannon, like, so it's like 18 cannons aside and all that, mate.
See, when you pulled that move just now with the guns, it reminded me in the Expendables when Sylvester Stallone pulls out the revolver and goes like that, bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, honestly, how does he do that? That's the coolest move ever.
Honestly, Black Flag is the best one. You get armor change, you got a crew, you manage the crew, you make your crew whatever you want. You take rum and all that for the boat. Like, you take food sources for your boat because obviously you all need to eat if you're out at sea. Change your flag and all that on the boat. The sea's so vast in it. So vast. You can go to like remember in Pirates of the Caribbean, it was Tortugas, like the pirate place, so you can go places like that where it's rough as anything, folk are getting battered and that. Then you can go to like places where obviously like the what they call
upper class.
What do they call them? It's like the company, like where it's like the police, the royal, whatever.
Right,
They're all there, and so you can go to places like that, but they'll try and get you if you're a pirate. They're kind of hanging pirates and all that. So like,
walk the plank,
find treasure. You can hunt. You can hunt whales and all that. You can harpoon whales,
right?
And because you go out on one of their wee boats and you harpoon a whale, and he's pulling the boat along, and you're like try to get him and all that. You can go underwater,
right?
Search shipwrecks, find treasure, do anything pirate related. You can do.
Right. Okay.
Awesome game. It is the best game.
I'm going to look into the franchise, definitely.
Best game. And then there's one after that.
All right.
And that's because you're the grandson of the pirate.
Right.
In it, which is weird because it came out before the pirate one, but you're the grandson of the pirate. And that's the Redcoats. It's it's America.
Right.
And it's when the Civil War was on.
Okay.
Remember when the Redcoats...
So Native Americans.
You're a Native American, and there is Native Americans in the forest and stuff like that. So you've got the wee tomahawk and all that, like it's badass, bow and arrow and all that.
Right.
But the Redcoats, they used to fight, and it was like they'd all just go in a line and just start shooting across. Yeah. That's what it was, cannons and all that.
Right, okay.
That's the last one I'm going to play.
I know kind of the era you're talking about.
That was a great game as well. That's the last one I'm going to play.
Right, okay.
And then I'm just going to call it, because there was ones like in Victorian times that were a bit of shite.
The other ones, the background ones,
So I'm going to play, that's the row I'm going to play in a row.
Right.
And that's probably about over 1,000 hours worth of gameplay. But I'm just going to work my way through it. Well, and I'm going to try and platinum the lot.
Hopefully you get there. In other news, I'm just going to kind of steer... not fully off, still into the games anyways, but I've been hearing from yourself and reading about stuff that there's a new Xbox console being studied or developed as we speak. Don't know much about it yet, but you've mentioned that it's meant to have a sort of a handheld thing going on as well.
There's two, so from what I've seen, again, don't quote me.
Touch briefly on it because I've got something else I want to talk about.
So one is the console, obviously they're teaming up with Microsoft, like with Steam and all that, so you'll get Steam and all that on it, right?
That's the best thing ever, by the way.
So, you get the console.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how amazing this will be graphically. I don't think it's meant for that.
What, you mean the wee handheld thing?
Both,
right?
I think the console and the handheld.
Console is supposed to be technologically quite advanced. It won't be quite as advanced as a PC, for example, because consoles never are.
You can't be.
You physically can't keep up, because this is what I was going to say as well, is NVIDIA recently in January released the new series of graphics cards for all you PC fans.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about this.
And so the latest before that was the 40 series. And we
talked about this, yeah.
I have the top of the lineup, the 4090. I've got one in my computer, and it's an absolute weapon. It handles any game, no problem. There's actually not a single game, as far as I'm aware, that actually requires that graphics card, because it's just over the top as fuck. They've now released a 50 lineup, starting with the 5070 all the way up to the 5090. 5090 being
we talked about this, right? But it's like a fortune.
5090s, when they came out, the scalpels, which is people who the scalpers,
yeah.
Scalpers come out and they just buy all the stock as soon as it's remotely even out, and they resell it on eBay and all sorts of places for extortionate amounts because nobody can get it anywhere else. So you're either paying $5,000 for it or you're not getting it. It's dead.
I don't like people do that.
Nah, I don't either. So they've actually recently came into stock.
Okay.
Some models, because what happens is NVIDIA will release the patent to like brands like Corsair, MSI, Palette, loads of other different places, PNY, all that kind of stuff. And these people, these second aftermarket, if you will, companies will release their own versions of the graphics card. So, for example,
because they sell the patent on,
because, for example, you can get the OG GeForce one from NVIDIA. Which looks very basic. It's got the same style every time you get it. It's the same style. But me personally, I prefer the MSI ones, the Supreme ones, because they just look so nice and they've got the lights all over them and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I've got. But usually they clock them a little bit faster. They overclock them, so they've got more of a performance boost over the standard versions, if that makes sense. But the other thing is that they are then in turn dearer. Okay, so when it was all announced and it was all released, the 5090 was supposed to be starting at £1,999.
Yep.
Okay, so £2,000 effectively. They are now in stock, and for example, an MSI one is £3,200 on scan.co.uk, for example, right? There's other ones there that are about just over 2K or 2.5 to 2.8, stuff like that. But that's a lot of money. The thing is, I feel like they didn't really do.
They're wiping themselves in the market.
They are, because the thing is, right, like that. No one's going, because the thing is, right, my 4090 has got 24 gigabytes of VRAM. So that's a graphic RAM, right? Which is the graphical sort of performance.
Yeah, visual RAM, is that not what it stands for?
Yeah. Your 5080, which is the one below the 90, obviously.
Yep.
That's got 16.
Yep.
So they've not went down, because obviously it's meant to be the equivalent of it, but it's not quite. However, the 5090 has got 32.
Yep.
Which is overkill as fuck. Right? So
I know where you're going here.
They haven't made a 24. There's not a 24 on the lineup. And it's like, well, I'd buy a 5080 because it's within a reasonable, justifiable budget. But the only problem is I'm going to be going down from 24 gigabytes to 16 and significantly reducing my core performance as well. So why would I do that? If they had matched, because the one before that, the 5070 is also 16 gigabytes of RAM. So I'm like, why would you make two models which are supposed to be, the 5080 is meant to be superior to the 5070, which it is.
But they've got the same RAM.
But they've got the same amount of RAM. But the thing is that they've done is they've absolutely riddled it with AI. So the graphics cards are now ran by AI. So for example, the 40 series, which is what I have, they are just raw performance. They are built. They're made. They work just by hardware, right? Whereas the new ones
are more efficient.
The new ones are more efficient for hardware. They're cheaper to make. Hence why the 5070 is only like £600.
Also for thinking on that, probably for actual longevity and wear, they will last longer.
They will,
because you're putting them under less
But the problem is, take the AI aside, those cars don't have that much power.
They don't need to.
The 4090 will outdo a 5080.
But they won't need to, eh?
Well, they won't, yeah. But so when the CEO of NVIDIA was delivering his keynote speech in January, he promised that the 5070 TIs are like the more sort of overclocked versions. They're like the sport models, basically, right?
Yeah.
He promised that the 5070 Ti will match the same performance of the 4090, which is massively superior spec-wise on paper, right?
Yeah.
Everyone pulled away at it because it was also going to be quarter of the price of a 4090, and it ended up not actually delivering a lot of YouTubers who are obviously these tech guys and gamers and all that kind of stuff, PC specialists, all that sort of stuff, they've all tested it, and it's like, nah, buddy, it's not performing. So there's a lot of
controversy.
A lot going on. But if you're in the market for an insanely over-the-top, expensive as fuck graphics card, which you will never need to use half of the power that it can utilise, 5090s are back in stock for £3,200.
I'm quite excited about the new PlayStations.
I didn't know there was one coming.
There is.
Right.
Same time as the Xbox.
Oh, is it? Right, okay.
The reason I'm more excited is it's supposed to considerably outperform the PS5 Pro.
Right.
But I already feel as a gamer, without a PC obviously, so not including PC, but as a console, the PS5 Pro is fairly impressive.
It is.
As a console.
A console on its own.
As a console on its own, it's an impressive console. A console on its own
for £500, doing 4K at 120 FPS.
I would say it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So how can it quite like severely outperform? And yes, it might be a touch dearer, so it might be 650, 700 quid. But I still feel that's not a lot more money to outperform quite dramatically a Pro.
So what happens?
How much can it outperform? What can it give us?
Well, I can tell you. So games for consoles for PC, right? Okay, so games for consoles are optimized to what a console's hardware can smoothly deliver performance of, right? For example,
it doesn't let you push.
Yeah, for example, if you play Call of Duty on your console and I play Call of Duty on my PC, I've got my shit set up to super sample and quadruple the resolution and fucking ultra graphics, all the rest of it, and my computer sounds like a jet taking off because it's trying to cool down, right? It can handle it because I'm only using like 40% of the power that it's actually got.
Yeah.
Fine. Your console, first of all, doesn't have all these options because it's already pre-programmed and it's optimized for the console.
For what it gets,
so the hardware that you have, the chip that you have inside your console has got some sort of a spec sheet, right? It's got some sort of power output.
It's like buying a pre-done computer.
Pretty much. It's like it's got some sort of power output. They analyze what it is and then they optimize a game based on that so that it runs at the appropriate frames per second.
Yeah.
Right? So what they'll probably do, and that includes like shaders, your shadows, your reflections, textures, qualities, all that kind of stuff, right? So they'll preset all that. It'll be like a preset that's applied to automatically. What they'll do, my guess is when they release a new console, they'll test that and be like, right, cool, so this has got a lot more power. That means we can crank up the detail now.
Yep.
So let's apply this preset to it now. So instead of being, for example, on my computer, what would be maybe medium or high, let's just slap ultra on it.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Turn it up, turn the graphics up, turn the textures up, turn the reflections up, blah, blah, blah. Ray tracing, put that in it. For those of you who don't know what ray tracing is, it's just a more advanced system of reflections of puddles and glass and like car, metal and stuff like that.
Yeah, because we've got that now in the Pro and my one.
Yeah, Pro's got some of the games,
because I've got ray tracing in some of the games I've got on my normal.
It makes a difference.
But I guess if they could make that even better, it would be awesome.
That's what I'm going to guess. It's the only really way I can imagine them turning it up because that's kind of how consoles.
That's all you can do.
They're very simple because they're just pre-programmed. It's like buying a pre-built PC, like you said. You'll buy a pre-built PC that you can upgrade, or actually better yet, it's like buying a gaming laptop.
Exactly,
you can't do shit to them. Mm-hmm. They're built in, they are soldered together. You cannot do anything to them. The only thing you can really do in certain models is change the RAM and change the SSD.
I'm telling you, it doesn't beep anymore.
Not a time yet.
It is.
25. So 55.
Oh, it's 55.
Dumbass.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was 25 minutes ago. All right, continue that. I take cut that out.
Yeah. So RAM and SSD is the only thing you can really change.
Bro, I'll tell you now, there's a promise I'll make because I never spend any money. There's a promise I'll make it. When that comes out, I will buy it. I'm going to buy a new telly.
Right.
And I'm going to buy a new soundbar.
Right.
For that when that comes out.
Amazing.
So I can have the whole lot.
Are you going to keep your PS5 that you have now?
Yeah.
What we can do a comparison.
I would like to do that.
We can compare it.
I was going to buy the Pro.
Mm-hmm. No point.
I feel I get enough. I get enough out of what I get.
There's no point buying a console.
Not when I've got a year, 2 years, whatever to wait before I get another one.
Absolutely.
I just feel like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I'm happy with the telly and everything I've got right now. Like, it's all more than good enough. So I'm just going to keep what I've got a couple of years, and I'm going to buy, like, Samsung, like, a really, really good QLED or something.
Yeah.
Like, so I can have that.
You should get those lights behind your telly that, like, match what you're seeing on the
So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get, like, my brother's got a really good sound, but I'll just get the newer version. His is now probably a couple of year old. I'm just going to get the newer version. I think it's a Samsung one, actually, funny enough. And it's got, like, he's got a speaker that goes in his first, like, surround sound and all that.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good, but I think they're, like, when I looked them up, I think they're like $2,000, $2,500.
I've seen a good system for 800 quid in Curry's.
And they're like, and I want to get all of that so that when I turn my new PlayStation on, it's like minted.
Serious.
Like I'll notice a change because I'm not only jumping console, I'm jumping everything. So I'll be sitting like, Jesus.
Well, it was like me when I got that computer and then I got the screen for it as well.
You just blows it away.
First game I put on, I was like, whoa.
Jesus Christ. Like, that's what I want it to be.
Yep.
And I'll be able to move all my PlayStation system across to the next one, like all the games, everything can go across. I think it'll just be nice to know that, like, everything's changing. It just feels nice. I feel like I'm going to treat myself to that.
You should.
It'll be extortionate, but I'll treat myself to it.
You should, absolutely.
Yeah, I just feel it would be fun. It'd be cool.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
That would be us, I believe, for today.
It will be.
It will be us for
very
today.
gaming related.
I've very much so, and a little bit of tech at the end.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was going to talk about one more thing, but we're running out of time, so I'll save it for the next podcast.
Save it for the next podcast.
But it's basically to do with cycling.
Yes,
because I have recently purchased a mountain bike. And because I wanted to get a little bit more in shape and also improve my cardio. So I'm going to touch on that on the next episode because I've recently done a bit of cycling. And I've actually enjoyed it a lot. So I'll touch on it.
Touch on the next episode. I've got a couple of films and series to talk about next episode as well. That I need to finish watching the series so that I can talk about.
Yeah.
But and I'm happy with that. And
excellent.
Obviously, guys, like, subscribe. That'll help us out.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Take care.
Peace out.